Understanding how you navigate the interface is a very important thing, significant to how well you will do with working with Microsoft Excel. If I switch quickly to an Excel workbook, here we'll notice that we have a couple of buttons at the top of this workbook. And this is typical of Microsoft's applications. You will notice this with the spreadsheet applications generally. But for Microsoft, they seem to have this kind of arrangement in almost all of their product. What you would notice is that what you have here from the level of the files down here, they are called the ribbon interface. And within the ribbon interface, you have three groups, or you have three different sections. We have the tabs, which an example is Home, Insert, Draw. These are tabs. Within each of the tabs, you have a bounded region with a thin line. So each of the bounded region is a group. And within the group, you now have buttons or commands. So an example is, now this is the ribbon interface. I have the Home tab here. Within the Home tab here, I have the font group. Within the font group, I have the bold command. And that is the same way we have for every other tabs that you see here. So the tabs that we see here is dependent on the version that you're using or the product you're using. But technically, there are standard tabs that you would always get. Almost everything down to the View tab, you probably would have that. So what you see majorly on the Home tab, they are the buttons that you need most frequently, or the commands you need most frequently. They are the things that you find in the Home tab. Think of it, the Insert tab, when you want to bring in things that are not necessarily Excel. For example, your charts, they are not necessarily Excel, but they are things that work with Excel. Your shapes, those are not Excel, but they are things that work with Excel. So you come to the Insert tab to achieve those. You can also do some drawings. So you see some tools here to do some drawings. When you are intend to set the page, or you want to change the orientation of your page, or you're now thinking that, yes, I'm done with my spreadsheet, I want to now print, then you need to come here to the page layout to set all of those sizes and functionalities. We have the Formulas tab, which we're going to explore much later. This is where you see all the collection of formulas and functions that you have in Excel. We have the Data tab as well, which is where you are able to use another tool in Excel that assists you to bring in data from other places. And you do some other data related assignments like sorting, filtering. You can do data validation and all of those things from here. On the Review tab, you're able to use some things that assist with the review of your workbook. Let's say you want to review spellings or grammars, you want to review the performance of your workbook and some other related things, protection, and all of those can happen in the Review tab. And think of the View tab as the tab that has or that controls the interface of your workbook. So whatever you see on this interface can be controlled here. An example is we have the grid lines here. If I check the box for grid lines, the grid lines go off, and then if I want to bring them back, I can check the box and then they come back up. So it is the View tab that controls what you see, what you view, so to put. So this is a general overview of the ribbon interface, which is where you have most of the navigation. And if you want to go to what is called the Backstage view, then you come here to File, which sort of gives you access to the backstage of Excel to set some things that would generally affect your workbook. All right, so in the next lesson, we'll continue to look at some of the specific features that are not within the ribbon interface per se.